In the old mansion at the edge of town, there was a room that time had forgotten. The locals whispered about it, calling it the Forgotten Room. Its door, covered in layers of dust, creaked open only when the wind howled through the corridors and the moon cast an eerie glow upon the abandoned halls. One gloomy night, a curious soul named Emily ventured into the mansion. The air in the hallway grew colder as she approached the door of the Forgotten Room. Ignoring the warnings from the locals, she turned the rusty doorknob and stepped into a world frozen in time. The room was filled with antique furniture draped in dusty sheets. Faded portraits adorned the walls, capturing faces lost to the ages. Emily's footsteps echoed as she explored the forgotten relics of the past. In the corner, a forgotten music box began to play a haunting melody, its tune resonating through the silent chamber. As Emily continued her exploration, she discovered a series of letters scattered across a dilapidated desk. The letters told a tragic tale of a family torn apart by a long-forgotten secret. The room seemed to absorb the sorrowful echoes of the past, and shadows danced along the walls like ghosts telling their stories. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging Emily into darkness. Whispers surrounded her, as if the very walls held secrets eager to be revealed. Panicking, she fumbled for the exit, but the door refused to open. Desperation set in as Emily realized she was not alone. Ghostly figures emerged from the shadows, their faces mirroring the portraits on the walls. They reached out, their translucent hands pleading for acknowledgement of their forgotten existence. With each passing moment, Emily felt the weight of the past pressing down on her. The room seemed to absorb her essence, intertwining her fate with the tragic tale of the family that once called the mansion home. In a final attempt to break free, she uttered words of remorse and understanding, acknowledging the pain that lingered within the forgotten room. As the echoes of her words filled the air, the room released its grip. The door creaked open, and the ghostly figures faded away. Emily stumbled out, shaken but changed. The mansion stood silent once more, and the Forgotten Room closed its door, preserving its secrets until the next curious soul dared to unlock its tragic history. In the days that followed her harrowing experience, Emily couldn't shake the lingering connection she felt to the Forgotten Room. Sleepless nights were haunted by visions of the ghostly figures and the sorrowful echoes of the past. Determined to uncover the truth, she delved into the town's history, researching the family that once inhabited the mansion. Her investigation led her to the local archives, where she discovered a forgotten scandal that had torn the family apart. A betrayal had festered in the shadows, shrouded in secrecy until it consumed their happiness. Emily's heart sank as she connected the dots between the letters in the Forgotten Room and the historical records. Haunted by a newfound sense of responsibility, Emily sought to bring closure to the restless spirits she had encountered. Armed with the knowledge of the family's tragedy, she organized a small memorial in the town cemetery to honor the forgotten lives and mend the rift that had lingered for generations. As the townsfolk gathered to pay their respects, a strange calm settled over the cemetery. The wind carried away the weight of the past, and the ghostly figures now at peace watched from a distance. Emily read aloud the letters she had found, giving voice to the untold stories and acknowledging the pain that had long been silenced. A sense of closure descended upon the cemetery, and the atmosphere lightened. The ghostly figures slowly dissipated, leaving behind a profound stillness. The townspeople, once skeptical, felt a renewed sense of unity, as if the acknowledgement of the past had lifted a collective burden. The mansion, too, underwent a transformation. The once forgotten room, now bathed in a soft light, seemed to exhale its long-held secrets. The door, no longer obscured by dust, stood slightly ajar, a symbolic gesture of reconciliation. Emily, having played the unexpected role of mediator between the living and the lingering spirits, left the town with a bittersweet sense of accomplishment. The mansion, now free from the weight of its tragic history, stood as a reminder that acknowledging the past, no matter how painful, could bring about healing and release those bound by forgotten secrets. As Emily left the town behind, a peculiar memento accompanied her, a vintage key she discovered on the desk in the Forgotten Room. Intrigued by its ornate design, she couldn't resist the urge to return to the mansion one last time. Guided by a mix of trepidation and curiosity, Emily unlocked a long-forgotten door tucked away in the mansion's deepest recesses. The room revealed itself as a forgotten library, its shelves laden with dusty tomes and forgotten knowledge. Faint whispers echoed as she traced her fingers over the spines of ancient books. One particular volume stood out, an ancient journal belonging to the matriarch of the family who had suffered the betrayal. As Emily flipped through its pages, she unveiled a story of love, loss, and a desperate pact made in the shadows of the mansion. The matriarch had sought supernatural means to protect her family, inadvertently cursing them with a cycle of tragedy. Determined to break the curse once and for all, Emily delved into the cryptic passages of the journal. Guided by the words of the long-gone matriarch, she uncovered a ritual that held the promise of redemption. The task ahead was daunting, involving a night of confronting the spirits and appealing to the ethereal forces tied to the curse. As the appointed night arrived, Emily returned to the Forgotten Room, armed with the knowledge from the journal. The atmosphere thickened with anticipation as she recited the incantation, her words mingling with the haunting melody of the music box. Spectral figures materialized, their faces etched with a mix of anguish and hope. Emily pleaded with the otherworldly forces to release the family from their cursed fate. In a surreal culmination, the room quivered and a blinding light enveloped the space. When the light subsided, Emily found herself alone. The mansion stood silent, devoid of the ghostly figures that had once haunted its halls. Outside, the morning sun painted the sky with hues of dawn, signaling a new beginning. With the curse lifted, Emily left the mansion behind, knowing that the town and its history could now move forward unburdened. The vintage key, its purpose fulfilled, became a symbol of her journey, a tangible reminder that sometimes, facing the shadows of the past, is the only way to unlock the door to a brighter future.